Right, good morning everybody. It's Thursday, nearly the end of the week, and today in our topic lesson, we normally look at people who changed the world. We're going to look at a famous composer called Gustav Holst, and we're going to be looking at the planets. Okay, so we're going to be doing a music lesson today, which I'm excited about because I love music. Okay, we are about 4 minutes to 10, so in 4 minutes we're going to get started and on with the lesson. Don't worry, it is a music lesson, but you don't need instruments or anything like that. Again, just a pen and piece of paper for the lesson, and then afterwards I'm going to let you know what you're going to need and how you're going to be able to do some work that goes with this lesson. Okay, about 4 minutes we're going to get started. Hello to everyone in the chat already. Okay, let's have a look. Good morning, Evie, Leila, Milo, Amelie, Heidi, Ryan, Christian, Sunset Gamers. Okay, Evie, looks like you got the caps lock off there. Well done. Good morning, Jake. Good to see you. Sorry, Ellis. Okay, I obviously always get mixed up. You probably told me that before and I forgot. So good morning. Good morning, Maya. Good morning, Seb. Good to see you down. Time is at 3 minutes or so that we're gonna get started. Okay, morning, Drew. Good morning, Summer. Good to see you. Good morning, Anna. Good to see you, Anna. What have we got? 3 minutes to 3 minutes, and we're going to get started, guys. Okay. A few more people in the chat there. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Lucy. Good to see you. Not see you, but you know what I mean. Every morning. Every morning. Morning, Leah. 1 minute, we're going to get started. Good morning, Miss Alison in the chat there as well. Good to see you. Morning, Ollie. Morning, Amelia. Right, I'm going to start to do it to it. Okay. Just 2 seconds. I need to do something I forgot. Thank you. Right, okay, so we are going to get started. I'm just going to get this set up as well. Not remembering everything this morning. Right, okay, so today we are going to do a music lesson, okay? We want to do a music lesson for a while, just had to get my head round how we can do a music lesson when I'm here and you're at home, and I think I have cracked it, okay? So, today we're looking at people to change the world as we do normally on a Thursday, depending on if I'm in school or not, okay? And we'll look at a person, famous composer called Gustav Holst, who inspired a lot of people, okay? Normal rules, okay, in the chat, that's where I want people, and today I'm looking for a lot of feedback from you guys, okay? So, if you're talking about things that aren't appropriate to distract people and things like that, you'll get timed out by one of the teachers in the chat there to make sure everyone is on and they are listening and trying to get on with the work, okay? So that's what that is there for. Now, as well as that, if there's any questions or help or anything you've got after the lesson, pop them in the comments or during the lesson even. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Mr. Biggins123. You can get in contact with me on there. And I'm going to say as well, I know this is my schedule this week, said I was going to be doing an art lesson at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I won't be doing that, okay, unfortunately. I'm going to go into school to do some work, some things in school, okay? So I won't be able to do that, so I apologise for that, but the English lesson is back tomorrow, okay? Also got some things planned for the half term, so watch this space, okay? Not work with it. Okay, so we are going to look at Gustav Holst today, and we're going to be looking at a famous composer, and he inspired lots of other people with his music, okay? And that's how he changed the world, okay? So although he's called Gustav Holst, and it doesn't really sound it, he is English, okay? He was born in Cheltenham in 1874, okay? So a long time ago, okay? Come about 150-ish years ago, he was born in Cheltenham. Now, when he was born, there were musicians in his family, and when he was young, because he had musicians in the family, he started to learn the piano before he moved on and he played the trombone, okay, which is like the trumpet but with the long stick that comes out to change the note, okay, so he learned to play the trombone. When he was older, he attended what we call the Royal College of Music, and he studied there to be a composer. Now, a composer, okay, a composer is someone, okay, who writes music, okay? We say they compose music, so they write the music, okay? They don't necessarily play it. They're at sometimes at the front of an orchestra you will see a composer, which is someone who has the baton, okay, and they're keeping everyone in time. A lot of time composers write music as well, and have to, if you think about it, things like orchestras, they have to write music for all of the different instruments, okay, so it's a really, really hard job, okay. He became a teacher after he'd studied music, and he's taught in St. Paul's Girls' School. And when he taught there was a soundproof room where he loved working, okay, because it meant he wasn't distracting anyone else, and no one was distracting him, and he made a lot of his really good pieces of work there, okay. So when I said he composed, you can compose lots of different music. So the music that we hear now on the radio, by famous artists and stuff like that, that had to be composed by someone, put together, okay, is how we say it. So he composed operas, okay, which are like musical plays, orchestral pieces, which is just a piece of music that a whole orchestra plays, and choral music. Choral music is music that a chorus sings, so basically a choir, okay. So he made music for choirs to sing, because choirs, when they're singing, they don't all sing the same part, they sing different parts and at different notes and different octaves, okay, so higher and lower, and he used to write those things as well. His most famous piece of music, which we're going to look at today, is called The Planets, okay. Now, that was just a little bit about Gustav Holst. Like I said, this is a music lesson. I'm not just going to dump loads and loads of information about Gustav Holst on you. With the work today, that will be in the description that you can get at the end of the lesson. There is a comprehension about Gustav Holst, so it tells you about his life and it's got a few questions, things about that. So you can learn a little bit more information about him. But as he was becoming a composer, he became really interested in the study of stars and planets, okay? And this inspired him to make the piece of music he made called The Planets. Now, when we have a big orchestral piece of music, it's normally made in different what we call movements, which are different parts of it. Okay, and you can think of it if you were watching a movie, different movements. Sorry, there's hair in my eyes. I'm not surprised how long it is. In a movie, there's different parts that you can begin, middle, and end. Okay, or different parts where they're in different places in the movie. Okay. An orchestral piece has different movements which are like that. It's different parts that have different feelings and different atmosphere. So, when Gustav Holst made The Planets, the orchestral piece of music, his different music were all based on different planets. Okay. Now I'm doing this piece of music. It's a very famous piece of music, but also we'll be looking at the planets in science as well, haven't we? So it links in with that. So great composers are although he was doing all the different planets, obviously he hadn't been to the different planets, but what he focused on making the music, okay, what the meaning of the music feel like and the atmosphere was either what the planet looked like, okay, or based on the gods that they were named after. Because remember, when we looked at the planets, all of the planets apart from Earth, are named after Greek or Roman gods. So he would base the piece of music based on what that god was, okay. So if it was the god of being happy, it would be a happy planet. If it was the god of being sad, it would be a sad planet. Simplified it, but you know what I mean. Or how the planet looked, okay? And really, really good composers, great composers are amazing at making different moods and atmospheres with their music, okay? And that's why they're so important now. Before we had movies and stuff, they would do them for operas and things like that. Now we have great composers like John Williams, Hans Zimmer, it's going to kill us because I can't remember that one that works with Tim Burton. It'll come to me, I'll mention when it comes to there are loads of composers out there, okay, and they work with movies now and they make the atmosphere. And when you watch movies with music these days, you can really see how much the music adds, okay. Now this is something I love. I've been to see Hans Zimmer, who is an amazing composer who's doing music for lots of different films, okay. I've been to see him loads of times, been to see him twice, okay, once in London, once in Liverpool. And the feelings that he creates are amazing, and that's what great composers do: create feelings, create atmosphere. Okay, and Gustav Holst was a composer that could do that. So what we're going to do today, okay? First thing that we're going to do is we're going to listen to some of the music from the planets. And when we are doing this, okay, at the start, I'm not going to tell you what mood he was trying to create, but you're going to tell me. Okay. Now, obviously, not obviously, but I haven't played music in a lesson before. So we're going to make sure to see this works. And I'm going to have to look a little bit like a game show host, okay? Because I'm going to have to talk to you on the mic. So I'm going to put the chat up. Once I pop this in, would you be able to tell me in the chat whether you can hear me, okay, on the microphone? Right, can you hear me on the microphone now? See that I've got a bit of lag, so I'll have to wait a little bit. Okay, make sure that's still framed up. Okay, can you please tell me in the chat, can you hear me on the mic? Just tell me yes or tell me no, because if you can't hear me on the mic, you're not going to be able to hear the music either. I got lots of yeses there, thank you, and I'm just talking without the mic. Okay, can I just say as well, look at this glass. I love this glass. I think, if I'm right, I'm sure Millie got me this Christmas present. It's my favourite glass. I like it. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a piece of music from Gustav Holst, okay? And it's going to be one of the planets, okay? The first one that we're going to listen to is going to be based on Jupiter. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you the full name of that movement, okay? I am going to play the music. What I want you to do in the chat, okay, is tell me what feelings you think Gustav Holst was trying to create when he made this piece of music, okay? So pop it down. How does it make you feel? And then from that, what do you think he called this piece of music? Because he called every movement a planet, so Jupiter, and then something, okay? So let's get this. And again, when the music plays, can you at first just say we can hear it, or yes,
something in the chat to let me know that you can hear it, please. Okay, so here is our first one. Right, you should be starting now. Can you let me know in the chat whether you can hear it? Right, great. I can see that I can hear it now. So what I want you to do is listen to the music, okay? And pop down in the chat for me, okay? How do you think the music is... Well, don't tell me how to think. Tell me how it's making you feel, okay? What things do you think of when you hear this piece of music? What things does it remind you of? What times does it make you remember? And what do you think the feeling that Gustav Holst was going for, okay, when he tried to do this? They're saying it's making them feel, let's have a look there, exciting, upbeat, big, okay, Disney, an adrenaline sort of feeling, anticipation, I like that for you. So it's reminding some people of films like Toy Story. So Alfie, excited and tense. Dramatic, adventurous, something like that. Okay, so now what I want you to do, what do you think Gustav Holst called this piece of music? He called it Jupiter. What? Have a guess in the chat. No cheat, no Googling. I've got a feeling someone's used Google there, a little bit on the nose. Okay, now is a real question. A lot of you said happy, okay, a lot of you said joy, I don't know who's looking at Disneyland, excited, things like that, okay? Can you tell me then, and to let you know, this is called Jupiter, the bringer of joy. So the person who got that exactly, I know your game. Okay, so you've told me it's happiness, anticipation, joy. Okay, how do you think Gustav Holst has done that? How has Gustav Holst made this think of happy? Think of the instruments, think of the speed, okay, the tempo, think of the dynamics, how loud and how quiet it is, okay? Think of the texture. Is it a thick texture or a thin texture? Which means are there lots of instruments, not so many instruments? What is it that makes you think exciting, happy thoughts when you listen to it? And I'll stop talking because it's a very famous part of the music. So maybe they're saying it's upbeat, okay? People saying this bit doesn't feel as happy. Some people saying, Maya saying the violins are extremely relaxing. writing down my notes when I listen to it. So like you're saying, that's very soft at some parts, like now, but then it goes very fast and dramatic, okay? Intense build up there, Drew, and dramatic, yeah? So this part is obviously a little bit what we call, where it's the song, came down a little bit, okay? But it's still, I would say, not as happy, but it's still got that feeling of maybe something good's about to happen or something really good has happened, okay? Now we can hear now it's a lot softer. Right, good there. Anna mentioning it reminds me of the pantomime when it's about to start. So again, that anticipation and stuff. Now we've got a lot of songs that have joy in and have fun, have a lot of brass instruments like your trumpets and things. We call them a sort of fanfare, and those create that happy feeling and those anticipation and that build up of things. Okay, we have the strings. It's very light at times, quite fast. Okay, at certain points, and then it can slow down. And when it slows down, it's got those sort of big notes, okay? And when I mean big notes, the notes are drawn out, okay? And they're played like violins, long string notes and long trumpet notes and brass notes and things like that. And that creates that feeling of joy and that triumph, I think. Not just joy, I feel that it's called the bringer of joy. But I think that's a very triumphant song, as if you've done something really good. So we're going to move on to the next piece. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. So what I want you to do is to tell me what you think. This one is based on Venus, okay? Tell me what you think the name of this piece of music is, okay? Tell me how it makes you feel, okay? And what feeling you think Gustav Holst was going for. Really good there, Evie. Seeing on the last one that the different texture music may feel different things at different times, and that's what songs do. So people saying tense, some people saying sad. A few people mentioned suspense there. Stephen mentioned relaxed. Let's just listen for a minute and really think this will be over a tense piece of scene in a film or something. Have a real think. Just close your eyes. Tell me how you think it makes you feel. Now, a lot of people now saying it makes them feel relaxed when they really listen to it. Peaceful there, freer. People saying like a quite Star Warsy, spacey sound. A lot of them are going to sound quite sort of spacey. Remember, it is called The Planets. So it is based on space. Magical there, Amelie. Emotional, Anna. Peaceful with a little bit of tension, calm, okay? So this one is called Venus, the Bringer of Peace. So, how does this piece of music, okay, how does this one make you feel peaceful and relaxed when the other one didn't? So it's the same instruments playing, the same composer. How has he made this song feel relaxing and peaceful? Think about the instruments, the tempo, okay, which means the speed, the dynamics, which means the volume. Again, think about the texture. Is there a lot going on? Is it just a little bit? Think about all those things. What makes it feel peaceful? Someone's saying a change in the tempo. Okay, and then someone's saying slow. Yeah, so it's a lot slower. Okay, if something's going quite fast, it's hard for it to be peaceful, isn't it? So it's going really, really slow. And again, the instruments. We've got some wind instruments there, some flutes, which are quite peaceful instruments, your violins. But your violins are being played really, really quickly, which can be quite frantic. Again, you can hear those long notes that are being held. So some really good ideas there, okay? Really listening. So, we're going to move to another one of his movements. Now, I'm going to say this one isn't called... The first one was Jupiter, the bringer of joy. The second one was called Venus, the bringer of peace. This one is based on Neptune, okay? It's not called the bringer of anything. So, again, listen to the music. And the first thing that we're going to do is think about what type of mood it is making us feel, okay? What type of mood do you think Gustav Holst was trying to create with his music? And then we will think about how he's done that a little bit later. So the easiest way to do that, last time a lot of people were saying tense, but then when they took it back, closed their eyes and listened, they got it, okay? So listen to this one. And in the chat, if you can for me, write down how it's making you feel, okay? What parts are making you feel like that, okay? I can see a few people putting the answer to the name of the piece of music, okay? For you to get that off 2 or 3 notes, exactly what the name's called, I know that you've been looking it up or you've already known. I want you to listen to the music, okay? It's not about right answers. It's about thinking of what it sounds like. Thinking of how it makes you feel. Okay? People saying they're lonely and mystical. Feel on edge there, Leo. I like that one. So if you don't know what's going to happen. Mysterious, Millie. Quite a sad and depressing song you think there, Ryan. Okay. Spooky. Lonely, depressed, sad, lost. Okay, so this one is called Neptune the Mystic, like a few people have put in the chat. Okay, it's called Neptune the Mystic. Cunning, like a baddie is planning something. So a lot of the people things that you're saying when it's mystic, it's someone telling you what's going to happen, isn't it? Or it's something where you're trying to, it's mysterious, you're trying to find out what's going to happen. So a lot of things that you've put there, people have put mysterious, anxious. You feel anxious when you don't know what's going to happen, don't you? Okay? So those type of things are all really, really good answers. So now, same as last time. Ooh, reflective contemplation. Like that, Jezza. So now, how is he making it mysterious? How is he making it anxious? How is he making it mystical? How is he making you think what's going to happen next, okay? How is it he does it in this piece of music? that, Isabel? You feel like it's about to go dun dun dun. Okay, so Amelie there saying it's slow, it's soft, it's calmer. Okay, now this is the time that we've really got to start thinking about what we think, how we think he's done this. Because slow, soft, calmer is definitely right, Amelie. But we also said that for the bringer of peace, didn't we? So why does this one feel more mystical and anxious and the other one feel calmer? What is the difference? That's what we've got to try and think of. How is it that he's done that? I like that David said he's used calm instruments. So what do you think those calm instruments are? I can hear a choir in there now. Okay, quite a few people seeing the instruments now. So what is the instrument? Is it the way they're being played? Or is it the actual instrument that they're using? What is it that is creating the feeling? So now it sounds a little bit more tense. So people saying flute, violin, triangles. If I go back a little bit, what was it that made it sound, oh, if I can get the right thing up, a bit tenser? Okay, what instrument came in that created tension and started to make it feel a bit more anxious? Listen. So feeling the harp there, and what we're going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to play it and let you know as it comes in. So we had the music playing here, and suddenly we're about to have a big blast from one of the brass instruments. Okay, it might be a tuba or a trombone or one of the brass instruments. I think it's a tuba. Again, I'm going to turn it, I'm going to stop talking, you'll hear a big blast. And that was that big sort of sound that we had. Brilliant impression by me, okay? But the reason I'm pointed that out is because in the first one, The Bringer of Joy, okay, we had lots of brass instruments, but it was creating a feeling of happiness, okay? So if we just quickly get that back on. Lots of brass instruments there, but the way that they're being played, okay, creates happiness and joy, okay, and triumph. Whereas when we heard that last one, okay, the tuba really started to make it feel and sound, more anxious and more scary. And that goes to show you that it isn't just the instruments that affects what it is that a piece of music sounds like, okay? It is also, sorry, I'll turn that down a little bit. It's not just the instrument, it's how the instrument's being played, okay? Whether it's being played fast, slow, whether it's being played loud or quiet, whether it's being played fast or slow, your tempo, okay? I think I've said that, dynamics, loud or quiet. But also the key that it's in. Now, this is important. Now, lots of different pieces of music are wrote in a key, okay? And you'll probably all know that the keys on a piano, or the keys that we use for music, go from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then they go back down to A again, another octave up, okay? And then we have the black keys. If you think about pianos the easiest way, we have the black keys as well, which are sharp and flat notes. And every piece of music is wrote in a certain key, like an A major, B minor, F sharp, flat. Now, you don't need to know exactly what they are. That's more if you're getting more technically and you're learning music, things like that. But what you do need to know is different keys have different feelings, okay? So you can play the same piece of music. And now just because I always end up thinking of things randomly on the fly, so I've got no example to show you, but you can play the same piece of music but play it in a different key and it can have a completely different sound, okay? So a lot of things go into making the music sound like it is. Now, one of those things as well, and one of those things that is in a lot of music, is called ostinato, okay? I'm going to write this on the board for you. I feel like a game show host. Come on down. Here's what you could have won. Okay. Ostinato. Okay. Now, we're going to look at one of the, probably the most famous piece of music from Gustav Holst, which is Mars, the Bringer of War, okay? When you hear it, you will recognise it, probably, okay? Because it's been used on lots of adverts and things like that, okay? And the reason lots of classic music is used on adverts and stuff like that, just in case you don't know, little Mr. B fact, after a song's 100 years old, anyone can use it without having to pay for it, okay? That's why I can put this on YouTube and people aren't going to chase me down. Okay. So ostinato, and Mars, the Bringer of Planets, uses ostinato, and lots of music does. Okay, now ostinato is basically, okay, I've got my pen in my back pocket there. It's hard to do this with one hand. An ostinato is basically a musical pattern that repeats. Okay, an ostinato is a musical pattern that repeats. So it's a piece of, and we're gonna, after we listen to it, I'm gonna explain a little bit more in detail so you can understand what ostinato is. Okay, but what I want you to do is, can you hear? And now this is going to be hard for you to put in the chat. Okay, I will just tell you afterwards, because if you're putting lots of things in, it's not gonna make sense. Okay, because you know what I mean. I'm off on one now at the minute. If you're humming a tune, you can't write it in the chat, can you? So just have a thing in your head of what the chat is. But also, we know this is called Mars, the Bringer of War. What do you think makes it feel like a war song? Okay. Now Mars was the god of war. Okay, and Mars, the planet, is red and fiery. Okay, so it's linked with fire and war. So what is it when you hear this music that links it to war? But when you're doing that, I also want you to think of, is there a pattern that's repeating over and over again throughout the song? Okay, have a listen for that as well. So this one is called, like I said, called Mars, Bringer of War. You'll probably recognise it. Listen for a pattern that's repeating over and over, which would be our ostinato, and think what makes it sound like war. Okay. Well done, someone said there, like a marching beat. Okay, so you can see people marching to this. Well done, as a jazzer. Drums, you're seeing Stephen, loud, powerful. So we're talking about the dynamics being loud. see some people trying to put the ostinato in. I think I know what you mean, but I'll go over it in a little bit. So we've got that something about to happen. Yeah, it's a build-up, isn't it? It started quite quiet. There's more instruments coming in. Notes are getting faster. Again, more and more people talking about marching. Right, we're going to leave it there for now. So lots of great things there. I mentioned drums being tense there as well, Kiwi. I can see lots of stuff there. Now, again, that's another testament to Gustav Holst still using the same instruments that he had, but they're being played differently, okay, and different combinations of instruments. So the drums that I think Stephen mentioned were a lot louder, okay, a lot more abrasive and in your face in that one, okay, and that sort of created that warm, that sort of feeling. Now, I should just sort of try and think of the ostinato as well, okay, which is a pattern, a musical pattern that repeats, okay, and lots of songs have them all the way through, okay. So if we go back to the start of the song, it's easiest to hear it because the texture isn't as thick, so there's less instruments. Turn it up. So you can hear that. Ooh, so you can hear that. Let's listen. So it goes dun 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 dun. Obviously a lot better than me. Let's see, we get a little bit louder in the composition. But you can see I'm skipping through the song and that beat is still there, it's repeating all the way through. And that's a lot of the thing, okay? When you were talking, you were mentioning that marching beat. That matches in with that marching beat, okay, doesn't it? It's that constant repetition of the same things over and over and over again, okay? And ostinatos are brilliant at helping create the atmosphere of the song, okay? So, they build up they can create the atmosphere of the song, or they can even create the hook, which is the part that you remember over and over again, okay? Now, actually, I've just thought of my head, because the notes can change. So in that one, they're pretty much staying the same all the time. Now, I'm going to check to see if I've got this on my computer, because as we know, I'm a geek, and I'm pretty sure I have, okay? And I've thought of a good example. Okay, so... where can we see it? Okay. So, let's hope this is what I think it is. So this is from a video game, okay? Very old video game. I was 4 when this game got brought out, okay? Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, there's an ostinato in this one. Okay, that kicks in, and I'll tell you when it kicks in. And this one is an ostinato where it's the same beats, but the notes do change as it goes through, okay? Even though the pattern's repeating, it is changing a little bit. And this is a start now. So you can hear that bit there. It's the same beats repeating over and over, but with different notes in. That is the same beat, okay? That is an ostinato. It is repeating through the whole song, but it's changing the notes to create that song, okay? And that comes up and down throughout the song, okay? In movies, we have perfect examples of it. I haven't got this one on my computer, don't think. No, okay. We have, think of Jaws, the music. You know, all the music with the Jaws that goes, do-do, do-do, Again, that is a musical ostinato repeating over and over and over again. Even the pop songs and things that you listen to now, okay, if you listen to them, ostinato normally not to do with the singing, okay, but if you listen to the instruments, they will have parts in that repeat over and over and over again throughout the song, okay. It's what makes a song catchy, it's what makes a song memorable. It'll probably be that part of the song that you hum in your head over and over again, okay. The reason you remember it is because it's all the way throughout the song, even if sometimes you can't hear it, okay, so it's a little bit quieter in the mix of all the instruments, it will still be there, and that's why you remember it, okay. And that's what makes it easy for people to compose music, to make music. For like when I'm DJing on a Friday, because the music repeating, it has patterns in it, I can use that to mix two songs together, okay. So it's a very important part of music. So we've had a look at some music there, and we've learned a new musical term called ostinato. Now, it is pointless having a music lesson if you are not going to try and put what you just learned into practice. Now, I'm moving some stuff around here because I'm going to show you my computer screen, okay? So, like I said, there is a comprehension on Gustav Holst, if you want to learn a little bit more about him, in the Padlet on the description. But there's also another task that I want you to do, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I want you to do with that one. So, as well as that, I've put all these links, okay, I've put a link to all the different pieces of music as well, if you want to do them, on the Padlet and in the description for the video. There is a link in the video, okay, and it is a YouTube link that goes to a movie scene. Now, I know someone who's going to be happy in the chat, because it goes to a movie scene from Star Wars. It's the end of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. I don't know, there's that many now, okay? The 7th, the first new trilogy one, okay? It's the end of that, okay? And so when one of the characters called Rey is going up and she's found Luke Skywalker and she gives him his lightsaber. The only difference is with this one, the music has been taken away. So there is no music at all, okay? If you want to have a look for that same scene, you'll be able to find it, okay? And you'll be able to see it with music. You can see how the music creates a mood to go up to it. I would listen to the music after you've done your task, though, because it might influence what you do. Because what I want you to do is to try and come up with an ostinato, some music that repeats, that will go over the top of that. Now, I know a lot of you saying I haven't got instruments, so how do I do that? Or do I just shoot my head? There is a great thing online called Music Lab Chrome Experiments. Now, again, there is a link to this in the description. Okay, or if you search for Music Labs on Google Chrome, okay, it will come up. Now I'm going to load it up so you can stay here for now while I can show you exactly what it is that you are going to do. It'll be 2 seconds while I get the camera in the right position. Okay, let's move this around. Oh. Sack the cameraman. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little. Okay. Right, okay. So this is what will come up when you go to Chrome Music Labs. Now, all of these things are cool things that you can mess around with, okay? They are cool things that will show you, okay? I'm just going to think of something. 2 seconds, because I'll not be able to play any music unless I change these leads over. So I'm just going to be 2 seconds.
Can you please in the chat let me know that you can hear me again? Okay, if you can hear me, please say, we can hear you, Mr. B. Sick of the sound of your voice. Just so I can make sure you can hear me before I do anything. Okay, so let's have a look at the chat. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Mrs. Carthy. Okay, so, okay. This is Music Labs, okay, on Chrome, and there are lots of different things that you can mess around with. So I'll show you a couple of things, and then I'll show you what I want you to use for your task, okay? So we have thing where we can do chords, okay, and you don't have to, you can pick major, minor, which is how they're going to sound, okay? Turn that up. Again, which can show you different things, nothing much going with. We have things like spectrograms, which we can mess around with, where you can hear a harp, okay, and you can see what that music sounds like under a spectrogram. We have things like melody makers, okay? You mess around with them. Didn't even try there. Don't know whether the teachers can recognise that one. Just messing around. But you can mess around with that. Okay? So if you like messing around with music and stuff, there's loads of different things that you can try. Okay? But what I'm wanting you to do, okay, is use this first one here. You can also create rhythms. I'll show you this one first. So down here you choose what sort of beat you want, and you can play it. And you got a couple of okay. And you can mess around, so you can make some rhythms and stuff, so you can really get in as you want. But this is the main thing I want you to use to make a ostinato. Okay, this is called a song maker. So we have our different instruments down here, which I can change by clicking on, and I can change the sound of. I've got my beat there. So if I just make a quick beat. Okay, I press start, press and play. You got your tempo here, so you can speed it up or slow it down. Change what percussion instruments you are using. And then above it, let's go with the piano, you can start making and obviously I'm just messing around quickly there now, but you can see it is really easy for anyone to experiment, okay, and mess around with, okay, the whatever you can sing, that's going to sound terrible. You can mess around and make pieces of music and change it to strings. Okay, and what I want you to do, let's pause that. What I'm wanting you to do is to use that, use the song maker. You can use some of the other things if you want and have a go at them, but I want you to use that. I'm really close to the mic and I'm sure I'm deafening you, I've just realised there. Okay, what I want you to do is use that to try and have a go at making a piece of music, okay, that will go along with the video clip. Okay, so it'll go along with the video clip and create the right mood. Now, you'll have to watch the video clip before you do it, experiment, and then you can even use your own clips or make your own pieces of music. When you've done that, okay, there is a button in the corner that will say save, and when you hit save, it will give you a link, okay? So you can send me the link and I can listen to the work that you are making as well, okay? Because the main thing for this is, it took us that long to do a music lesson, I wanted you, if you were composing something, to be able to make it, send it to me, okay? So obviously, just so you know as well, that Music Lab has no logins, it's free, it's a Google thing, okay? So it's brilliant to use, and there's some other stuff on for if you've got older brothers, or younger brothers, or older sisters or younger sisters, okay? Loads of stuff on there that you can use, alright? So you can mess around with it however much you want. But try and make it, and obviously you can see, we're talking about an ostinato, because that's going to repeat over and over again, okay? It's quite a long one, but you can create a beat that's repeating over and over again. Please, please, please send us links. Send them into the Twitter, send them into Facebook, Instagram, send them to the Padlet so we can all listen to the music that you've made, okay? Remember, try and match it. Because when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I'm going to play the music, play the clip at the same time, do the go together. And if there's things that you couldn't do, maybe tell me, oh, this would have been better if I had this instrument, or if I could have done this, I could have done that. Really think about that, what it is that you're making. So that's it for the lesson today. Thank you very, very much for coming down. I'm going to stick around for a little bit in the chat now. So if you do need any help or anything like that, you can just let me know. Or if you've got any questions or anything as well. Just remind you, like I said, no art lesson this afternoon at 2 o'clock. I'm really, really sorry about that. What can we do? It's nothing I can do about it. You know, I'll try and get them on as best I can for you, any lesson I can. But we are back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for an English lesson, doing some creative writing. Got some really cool things that we're going to do in that lesson. So come along 9 o'clock tomorrow for that if you're heading off now. And if not, I will see you in the chat. Any questions, just let me know. Okay? See you later if you're heading off. See you later, Evie. See you later, Ellie. The name of that Google thing, Ryan, is Music Labs. If you type it in on Google, you have to be using Google Chrome to use it. But there is a link in the description as well that will lead you straight to it. I'm glad that I've turned you to the light side, Mrs. Carthy, keeping with the Star Wars thing. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And you, Miss Allison, you're welcome. So Isabel, there's a video link down in the description for the video, and it is also on Padlet. Okay, it is a clip from Star Wars, the end of a Star Wars film, without any music, and you have to make some music to match that. Okay, if you really, really don't like the clip and you would like to create another piece of music, that's fine. But if you send it to me, tell me what it is going towards. Okay, so I can see if your music matches your ostinato. Okay, matches what it's going with. Okay, that's the most important thing. Thank you, Miss Alison. Yeah, they're in the topic section. I'm going to check, but I'm pretty sure they are in the description as well. No, they're not. I'm lying. Okay, so they're not in the description, but if you click on the Padlet links and go to music or go to Thursday, okay, you'll see the Gustav Holst. All the links are there for all the pieces of music, Music Labs, everything like that. So you can go to the Padlet and you can get the links from there. Okay. You're welcome, Sophie. See you later. Isabel, you can match it to whatever you want, as long what I'm looking for is that the music links to what you are wanting it to. Okay, that's the task, the hard part. Okay, so you'll have to send a video of tap dancing as well. See you later, Amelia. See you later, Jude. Might be hard as well. Give it a go, and if not, just use the clip that we've got, okay? Or you can look from another clip from a movie, okay? If you type in the movie clip and no music, or just put it on mute, okay? You can do it that way. By the way, it's really warm in here. Very warm outside. I've got lights on me and computers on, and it's a small room. Feel for me. The lesson tomorrow is at 10 o'clock UK time. I'm not sure whether in the UK or not, but the lesson is 10 o'clock tomorrow UK. I would assume that you are. Right, if you can't find it on the Padlet, Amelia, give me 2 seconds, okay? And I will pop it into the description of the video for you, okay? You give me a couple of seconds, I'll pop it into the description of the video, the link for the video clip and the link for the Google Music Labs. Put them in my notes to put in the description, and I haven't done it. Right, I've put those links there. Amelia, I know you couldn't find them on the playlist. I'll put them in the description now. They won't be in if you press F5 or you go to the video and come back. The description will have changed, and the link to the Music Labs and the link to the video are in the description there now, okay? It's called Music Labs, Isabel. I've just mentioned there to Amelia. I've popped them in, okay? I've popped them into the description of the video, okay? But I'll also pop them in the chat. That's the video to do your clip with. And that is the Music Labs as well, okay. If you're having any problem with Music Labs, it needs to be using Chrome, okay? You can't use Edge or Firefox or anything else like that. You need to use Chrome as your Explorer, okay, your web browser. So you need to go to Chrome, sorry, and click on that link and it will open up, okay. Right, okay, that looks like everything's sorted there, so I'm going to head off. Okay, thanks again, guys. Today was a really good lesson. Okay, loads of really good ideas in the chat. Looks like loads of people paying attention. So thank you very much for that. Loved it. Okay, like I said, I will see you next time tomorrow, 10 o'clock English writing lesson. And obviously the disco later on. That's one before half term. And I have got some things planned for half term. We'll see how those go. I'll mention those tomorrow, let you know what they're going to be. Okay, so until tomorrow morning, see you later. Well done for today.